And what do specific pockets out there do? It looks like we'll have an all green on the Sensex 30, maybe one or two losers, but let's see how it starts off. Okay, so the rates have started to come in, and the first winners on the ball are, let's say, Bajaj Finance. Let's pull that one up. Adani Ports is bouncing back a little, so 1.6% higher for that one. Metal names, Parag Thakkar spoke about it, 1.3% higher for Tata Steel. Larsen and Toubro has some positives, so that one is doing okay. Reliance is lending that bit of support. Mahindra and Mahindra 0.8%, but no runaway rara move really. It's quiet, with the top gainer Adani Ports being 1.5% higher, and that's about it. And then Bajaj Finance giving it company about 1.6, 1.7%. Are there any large losers? Indigo, well, 0.5% lower. ICICI Bank and HDFC Bank and Axis Bank. So the banks are kind of quiet and Indigo is quiet. But aside of that, most things look in the green. So, well, not a bad start, but just about okay. Let's see how this shapes up.
Power stocks are doing okay. You have your NHPCs, your Adani Green, Adani Power. Those, at least on the Sensex and on the BSE, seem to be doing okay. Your capital goods, your energy. So maybe some bit of bounce back, no runaway gains, but at least more green than you could have expected.
Yeah, you know, from what I can see on my screen as well, BSE not doing particularly badly, and I'm seeing these rates, it's up about 3%, Bharat Forge is 3.8% or so. I wonder whether Kush would venture into BSE purely from the perspective of an entry into that next 30 segment for derivatives.
Yeah, so I've always liked BSE. I mean, for a long time, especially in the capital market space. You know, I've mentioned that, you know, players like Nuvama and 360 on one side, and then you've got the likes of BSE and MCX on the other side. So this is something that you should consider. The 2575 level is also the 200-day moving average. It is also, by the way, the medium-term support zone from where the stock has rebounded multiple times. So yes, you know, in and around those levels, you could consider to add more. Even now, it's not a bad idea. You could consider adding BSE and holding on for some time.
Tejas Networks, and we've been talking about this even through this war situation, the stock continues to move higher, even as we speak right now, 4% higher at 520. I think it started gaining at what, 320 levels or thereabouts, right? Would you now take money off the table?
Alex, I think whoever's been holding on to this for a while has been holding on to this, from significantly higher levels. So I think this is more of a relief rally for anyone who's been, invested in this stock or trading in this stock. It's a good idea to continue to hold. Very impressive moves, not only in terms of the price action, but if you see the volume action for the last 4 days, phenomenal. The uptick in the volumes has been, massive. So this could well be the turnaround story for Tejas after massive drubbing that it's had over the last year and a half. So I would suggest more of a hold approach rather than an add more or even, an exit. So this is more of a hold right now.
Speaking about big losers, Gujarat Gas was gaining in trade, and Tamanna pointed this out to you. It has issued that force majeure announcement. The stock is down about 6% in trade today. One of the victims or one of the losers on account of this entire situation. What do you think, Parag Bhai, about Gujarat Gas?
No, correct. Basically, I saw it yesterday. It was up.
It was up.
I don't know why. Well, because ultimately your Qatar is stopping your LNG supply, so the gas prices are going up. How can Gujarat Gas go up? They are actually they give gas to this Morbi industrial belt and all, and they have alternative fuel also, which is propane. So if gas goes above propane price, they will shift to propane. So I think the volumes will also drop and margins will also drop. I don't know why it went up yesterday. First of all.
Yeah. No, and it's correcting. It's correcting today as well. And especially considering that they have put in this force majeure, Mahanagar gas as well. So you have some of those which will come in some kind of pain. At this point, is there anything that you would, considering it's not as bad as yesterday? You said no table thumping buys when markets are feeling this kind of calm. Kind of calm. But from a slightly longer term perspective, would there be any buys you would see, or you'd sit on the sidelines till things settle one way or the other?
So first of all, I have deployed most of my cash yesterday. So now I have to be on sidelines. or you'll have to give me money.
So this,
or you'll have to give me money.
basically this 12,000 crore DII buy figure which came usme se
I am
aadha
very small. No, I am very
a
small
lot of
part
that
of it.
coming in from Parag bhai. Huh?
So first of all of us have to. So you all have to give me money to have some cash in the portfolio.
No, if you did, of people who have not deployed or missed the bus yesterday
No,
because
that's
you
okay.
didn't
I
watch
think
your
there is
cable thumping by.
in this regime, where we are, there is nothing like missing the bus. It again gives you opportunity.
Yeah.
But I would say that I will go with my same name, HDFC, ICICI,
Yeah.
some of the IT names, Bharti Airtel, those kind of stocks.
Yeah, auto names are not doing too badly as well. Shrikant, top picks once we've seen the opening rates.
Yeah, I think, see, like all these pharma companies, there we saw some recovery, especially Aurobindo Pharma and Glenmark Pharma. From that space, we like Glenmark, which is around 2070, 2080 levels. There, the stock is forming some reversal activity as well as long-term bullish formation. So based on this, again, the stock can move towards the levels of 2150, 2175. Currently, it is around 207075. So it's a buy with a stop loss at 2050 on the downside. So pharma should be on the watch list.
Pharma should be on the watch list. You know, Larsen and Toubro bouncing back, but not to the extent that you might have thought. It did recover sharply from the low point of the day, now trading with gains of about 1%. It hit a low, if I'm not mistaken, of below 3,800 yesterday in trade today. So Kush, if you look at that as a bottom, near term at least, would you buy into this right now?
Yeah, from a medium to a long-term perspective, yes. In fact, I think there was an article that we put out on NDTVProfit.com yesterday where I said the same thing, that 3,700 has been that support level from where the stock has rebounded, plus a pedigree name. We know the reasons why it's cracking, right? So once all of this settles, this will recover. Again, may not be a V-shaped recovery, but you could have a sustained gradual uptick on this one. So 3,700, 3,800, these are good levels. So if it dips, closer to those levels again, fantastic entry point. Even now, some nibbling into L&T, not a bad idea.
What are the levels that you're seeing on the upside?
Oh, on the upside, I think the first level would be about 39.75. The reason I say that is because it's a gap very close to the current level that it is at. But once that is taken out from, and if it gains momentum, then you're looking at 4,200, 4,250 as well. That's where the next gap is. So yes, from a sustained recovery kind of a play, L&T does give you a very interesting risk-reward ratio at the current juncture.
What about a Coal India? Would you look at a Coal India once again after yesterday's run-up? And today, belatedly, I think people are realizing, okay, prices will go up, good for Coal India.
Okay, so I buy stocks which have momentum, which have, relative strength. आज की तारीख में है, but if you would have asked me Coal India 1 week ago would I buy, I would have said no. तो इस रैली में भले ही चल जाए, अगर आपने ट्रेडिंग के लिए लिया है तो स्टॉप लॉस लगा के खड़े रहो, बिल्कुल सही है. Will it have a sustained up move? I have my doubts. So I would be looking at booking profits at in Coal India whenever I get those reasonable 2, 3, 5% kind of profits, or hold with trailing stop losses. Not a stock that I would pick even in a decline or even in such a scenario. So Coal India is something that you buy and hold and book profits very regularly.
Yeah. What about you, Parag bhai, on Coal India?
Same view. I will completely agree with Kush. That all these commodity stocks, some of these commodities are going up just due to this war and those kind of events.
Yeah.
So I would not like to venture into buying them.
But in that entire energy impact sort of basket, if I had to look at cement, steel, aluminum, and you spoke about steel earlier, but cement, aluminum, all of those, especially cement, would be, now let's stay away and see
Hindalco,
what's happening.
JSW Steel and Grasim are the stocks which I like, which I would like to buy on a dips.
By the way,
So all three segments covered: aluminium, steel, and cement.